What's up, you beautiful people? This is Gary Horn, and this is the NWA. And I'm not going to waste my time with the whole intro or a whole spiel. You guys aren't here to talk to me. You are here to hear from that guy, probably. And that guy, of course, is Ricky Starks. Now, I'm assuming if you click this video, you already know who Ricky Starks is. So again, I won't waste too much of your time, but I did want to say two things. One thing is that we want to thank all of you people out there because you have been so supportive. You have done so much for this channel. The last video got like 1,000 views, which is just insane to us. So thank you very much for that. The second thing is because of the support of people like you, it allows us to have opportunities with the NWA and the talent that enters the NWA. And one of those talents in this case is Ricky Starks. Now, as you know, we received the news on Monday that Mr. Starks will no longer be competing with the NWA. He has chosen not to re-sign his contract, which is unfortunate for us as fans of the NWA. I certainly wish he was still going to be on my NWA Power episodes, but alas, this is the way of the world. Ricky Starks is going to move on to bigger and better things, and I'm sure that Ricky is going to be fine wherever he lands, but I did reach out to Ricky because I thought, maybe the guy wants a chance to talk to you, to tell you guys how he feels and what he thought about not re-signing. What was on Ricky's mind? Everybody wants to get inside the mind of Ricky Starks, right? Look at that guy. Look at his face. Look at that face. It's lovely. Anyway, the point is that Ricky was more than happy knowing that this is a good platform for him to come on and speak to the NWA community, the hashtag NWA fam, if you will. And we are grateful to Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks was one of the very first interviews we ever had on this show. And I'll be posting that interview up later because it's still very relevant and you get to learn a lot about the Stroke Daddy. We all love the Stroke Daddy, and he is our very first television champion of the modern age. So you can see it. He's not naked. If you thought he was, he's not. Ricky is very open and honest in this short interview, and I think he has a lot to say and a lot of interesting factors. Even when you think the interview's about to end, when you start talking about his store and his Instagram, his socials and stuff, stick around. Because I know what you think of me. I'm a fledgling interviewer, and you think I won't ask the hard-hitting questions or find the deep dives, the scoops, if you will. Just stay till the end. I think you'll find out that we get into the conversation you really want to hear about the future of the Stroke Daddies. But okay, enough talk from me. Ricky was very generous with his time. I'm going to be very generous with your time. Follow us on all the social medias at the NWA Pod. We'd love to hear from you. Let us know in the comments. Make sure you hit subscribe. We need all the help we can get. It'd be nice. And a guy like this shows up to help us out. He's supporting us. He's telling you that we're worth hitting the subscribe in the bottom right corner of the thing. Anyway, let's get to the interview.
Are you like out and about right now? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm actually walking from my car to my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you hear the birds and all that right now.
Yeah, I was just wondering. I didn't know. I feel like quarantine would be tough for Ricky Starks. You picture like Ricky Starks being out like clubbing all the time or something.
Actually, Texas is open now.
Oh, yeah, that's
so we
right.
got gyms open. Everything's open. So I'm not restrained to being inside no more. So I just came back from the barbershop, and I'm going to go to the gym later on today and just resume as safely as possible.
That's cool, man. Yeah, that's how I think we're all taking it. But did you do all right during lockdown? Did you get depressed, or did it bum you out like it did some people?
I'm sure. I think I did go through some small bout of depression, but I was just, what did I do? I just went to the park almost every day. I was at the park just working out because they have like soccer goals and stuff. So I was either out there throwing a frisbee or What was I doing? Like working out, throwing frisbee, running, or just walking around.
I gotcha. Well, I'm recording, by the way, and I'm sitting here. This is Gary Horn, and I'm sitting here with the Stroke Daddy, absolute Ricky Starks. And Ricky, this is obviously the NWA podcast, and so we just want to thank you for taking time out of your day to talk to us. It's a big deal to have you come on, and just, you were one of our first guests, and we've grown a lot since then, and I think you helped in that growth. So we're super appreciative of the Stroke Daddy here. So thanks for doing this again.
Of course, man. I feel like it's owed. It's something I owe to y'all. So I have no issues doing that.
That's really nice of you, man. God, Monday was the most insane day. Like, as if the world's not already insane enough right now. All these things hit on Monday, like with, the stuff with Shad Gaspard, and, it's a completely different spectrum of everything. But we got the news that Ricky Starks, thanks to Busted Open Radio, where I guess everybody probably heard it for the first time, he decided not to re-sign with the National Wrestling Alliance. And he'd become quickly a lot of people's favorite person on the show. What can you tell us about that? Like, what do you feel comfortable talking about with what's going on there?
Well, I mean, my contract was up at the end of April. It was supposed to renew. And then we mutually went our separate ways. It's I know to some people it's kind of like a left field thing. And I totally get that as well. But some things you just have to like figure out on your own. And if you're too comfortable somewhere, you want to be uncomfortable. And ultimately, I decided to go somewhere else where I can blossom and be bigger and basically take on a bigger goal for myself than what I had previously. So
I gotcha. No, you said it was supposed to resume. Like, I mean, did you? So obviously, I'm not going to pry too deep, more than you want to discuss specifically. But I mean, is there, with you leaving, is it? I know you said it's mutual, but do you feel good about everything, or you bitter about anything? How is Ricky feeling right now? Like, all in all,
I'm perfectly fine. If I didn't feel good about it, I wouldn't have made the decision that I did. So I sit in my decision proudly. I know to some people that's dumb. I was reading some comments, a few comments online. I'm perfectly fine in it. I am okay. I didn't want to re-sign, so I didn't re-sign. I passed up guaranteed money during the pandemic. I'm very well aware of that. And if that is an inspiration to do what you want and take risks, then I don't know what it is. But if you aren't a person who's listening to this and who doesn't take risks, and you just work a boring ass 9-to-5 job all day and then try to talk about my decisions, then I think you need to reevaluate. There's more to it than just what you think is going on. And there's no point in even dispelling that with other people because it ain't their business,
Sorry, I have to ask, just it's the way you said that. I mean, Stroke Daddy has like, the confidence and the swagger about him and that sort of thing. But I imagine that a lot of things that go into a decision like this, have to do with like opportunities you see yourself having, as well as,
of course,
you just thinking that you're not, I don't know another way to say it than like, clearly, we said this on our show. It's like at some point the value was not appreciated. Like you see yourself in a light that apparently wasn't matched. And so I'm guessing that, like, so do you have any hard feelings about any of that stuff?
I don't think it was a matter of me not seeing the value and being appreciated. I mean, that may have played a small part, sure. I don't know, but that wasn't like a big factor or anything. There's just things that I want to do that I ultimately plan to do. And yeah, that was it. We couldn't agree on the new contracts for May. And so I just said, thank you, but no thank you. And then I just walked away. So, I mean, I get it. Like, to people. They're like, oh, the NWA was pushing you and this and that. Yeah, that was fun. That was great. Like, they did that. We both helped each other out. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I'm not disputing that, but there comes a certain point where I just don't want to. Here's the thing. Bottom line is this. If I don't want to do something anymore, I don't have to do it. I just leave, and then I'll deal with the consequences of that on my own terms.
Well, you know what's funny, Ricky, is like, I mean, you're talking about these comments and stuff that you see, and I don't know if you feel like you saw more of one or the other, but I mean, for what I've seen, like through the This Is the NWA stuff and everywhere else, I mean, I think anybody that watched you that was a fan of NWA and a fan of NWA Power, I haven't talked to anybody who thinks that Ricky Starks is not going to be fine. You know, like everybody's no, Ricky Starks is good. So
let me clarify that. It wasn't. That's what I meant. Like, these comments were in the very small minority. They weren't anything. I don't focus on that. I focus on the other reaction, which was something I didn't expect. I didn't expect to tell that on Busted Open and then have people be like, damn, I'm super bummed out that Ricky isn't on there. For some reason, that never clicked with me, and that being a possibility that would happen. So to see that, I did feel like, I was like, damn, man, I kind of not let some people down in a sense, but I maybe disappointed a little people as far as not being there anymore, because I know how that feels, especially growing up and seeing certain wrestlers appear on different promotions. I was like, oh, damn, I'm going to miss them because it just won't be the same type thing. So I definitely understand, but for those people who actually support me and actually care a lot, I'll make it up to them some way, somehow. But, you know, sometimes you just got to, the gravy train is good, but maybe I don't want gravy anymore. Maybe I want some hollandaise sauce or something, you know?
I like that. I think that a lot of people look at it as a bittersweet thing. Like, they know that you're fine. You're going to go on to bigger and better things and do all of that. And everybody's already, speculating all over the place about what's going to happen next for you. It's just that, you did from day one, you exploded onto the scene, beat Trevor Murdoch. And, and that's not even counting like your time, like at NWA 70 or whatever. People fell in love with Ricky Starks, and then the idea that Nick Aldis, of all people, is out there, and anybody who asks, he'll tell you Ricky Starks was the number one draft pick. You were, I think, for a lot of people, like the new talent, like the one that, there were like established guys who were trying to remake a name for themselves. There are legends there who have already had names and all of that stuff. But you were like the guy that like nobody or a lot of people didn't know before and came out of nowhere. And they're like, damn, where did they find this guy?
Yeah, so, that's the funny thing about it. NWA never saw me have a match. They never saw a match of mine, and they never saw a promo before all of this. Ultimately, what happened was they saw the vignette. Nick saw this vignette that I did, and he showed it to him. And he thought it was creative, and so he pitched it to him. So NWA 70 was the first time they ever saw me wrestle or hear me speak. And that was, the little promo I did with Cornette at the time. That was whatever. But I think I really blew them away on the second episode when I cut that promo after my match. I had a match, and then I had to go and cut a promo on the fly. And it's just like, you didn't think much. You thought I was just baseline okay. But then I do that, and you're like, oh, snap. Okay, well, we didn't expect that type stuff. So I like having that. I like having people not know me beforehand and be like, oh, I'm very drawn into them. Because I can guarantee you, there isn't anyone right now, at least, on the scene or signed that's like me. I don't want to hear no comparison to the Dream or anything like that. Speaking from the heart and speaking matter-of-factly, there isn't anyone like me right now. So I think when it comes to that, obviously I'm going to stand out and shine a lot more just because it's something new and refreshing, different than just some guy coming out in sunglasses and being like, hey, everyone, I look better than you, just to let you know. I look good. Bye.
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody who's seen you on NWA Power, I don't know how they would ever even think that. You get total agreement from me. There's nobody like Ricky Starks. And man, the promos, you're talking about that. I mean, so the one that stands out the most to me, just to reflect on it for a minute, is obviously you were the first modern television champion, which is a cool feat in itself. But that promo you cut after, standing next to Kyle, put a quarter in your ass, you played yourself, all that stuff like that. Man, the first day I saw that promo, man, it almost, I'm not even kidding, like it was going to bring a tear to my eye. I was like, this guy is magic. Like, what is that? That is the best thing I've ever heard.
History has been made. The build-up's been for weeks now, even months. Ricky Stark standing next to me. You've said it from the moment you stepped foot in the NWA. You needed gold on that shoulder. And tonight, Hard Times, the first ever of this generation television champion.
Man, let me tell you something about Hard Times. Hard Times is doing 3 matches in a night. Hard Times is going toe-to-toe with Trevor Murdoch. Hard Times is standing right here before you. It's hard times for everybody now that Ricky Starks is the new TV champion. You understand what I'm saying? That's what Hard Times is. We in a new era right now. I'm the bridge. You know what I'm saying? I'm the bridge from the old to the new. If you got doubts about me, you better check yourself. If you asking about me, you better ask yourself. All right? That's the thing. Nobody gonna stop this. It's been 9 years in the making. 9 long damn years in the making, all right? You might as well call me a Tempur-Pedic, how much all these people done slept on me, but we not talking about that right now. We talking about this. We talking about crowning a new champion. We talking about setting a new lineage and a new era. Everything in the past, hey, I salute you, but guess what? It starts with me, and it starts right now. And there ain't nobody that can tell me different. You know why? Because I'm absolute Ricky Starks. I'm Stroke Daddy, Ricky Starks. Put a quarter in your ass, because everybody who doubted me, you played yourself.
Congratulations, champ.
Well, I walked to the back, and they immediately grabbed me, and I had to go do that.
That's crazy. And so that was just like on the spot, huh?
Well, I didn't have time to prepare, so yeah. It was, I maybe had 30 seconds to figure out what I was going to start off with or something, and then I just went at it. So that's the thing, man. I like the pressure of it, and I like getting there and proving people wrong. Because at that point now, everyone talks about Nick Aldis and Eli Drake and Eddie Kingston as the top talkers of NWA, but it's a damn crime if I'm not included in that conversation. And I think my promos forces your hand to put me in that in the same conversation with those dudes. I'm good. I'm just as good as Nick Aldis, if not better. I'm just as good as Eli Drake, if not better. I'm just as good as Eddie King, if not better. And I like those guys. I respect them. So I just think that I came there. I did what I had planned to do, which was try to be the bridge and also get more exposure and get myself over. And that's exactly what I did in a way. And no one can take that away from me, you know. And I'm very appreciative and proud of the time I had there. But eventually you got to move on and move on upward.
So is that how you're looking at it? Like, as far as, like you mentioned, the exposure thing, like, do you feel like that this is an opportunity for you to just, like, you had kind of hit the exposure level you were going to with the NWA and you're ready to shine brighter? Is that kind of the thought process for you?
Sure. I think so. To a certain extent, obviously, but I just didn't, I don't know. I just wanted to venture out and try new things type thing. My ideas are always bigger than myself at the moment. They've always been like that. And I know some people, and I don't want to be the guy who's like, no one believes in me. No one has, I don't want to be that guy who always thinks people are out to get him to try to make himself seem important. I'm not.
I don't think you sound like that, man. Not at all.
But I like to at least explain myself and let people know I'm not a very traditional thinker in terms of plans and moves that I make. It's very unorthodox to people, but to me they make sense and they always work out. So the goals and dreams that I have are a lot bigger than what I had, I don't know, 6 months ago.
So with that said, Ricky, like, do you have, I mean, like a specific path in mind right now, or it's just like you're gazing out over the field and just seeing what's there?
Honestly, there's a lot of things I want to do that I could go. I want to make money. Okay. I want to make money, and I want to be successful, and I want to have the chance to prove that I can be a main event draw. Like 100%. That's what I believe in. And so I think I'm only moving towards things that will only help facilitate that for me. And I'm not trying to listen to anything that does not propel me in that sense. I don't want to do a parallel move. Okay. I don't want to go backwards. I only want to move forward with things, because my dreams are a lot bigger than just wrestling. I think about a whole bunch of stuff that I want to do, that I will. I told someone earlier, I want to, who knows? I'll be in a Marvel movie. I'll play Gambit for freaking X-Men or something.
There you go.
That's where I'm going to. Yeah. So you got to realize sometimes where you're at doesn't necessarily mean that's where you're stuck at. I mean, you just got to keep moving.
No, I like that, man. And you obviously, I mean, you wouldn't be in the position you're already in if you didn't believe in yourself and have that kind of confidence. So, I mean, I don't think anybody's going to fault you for that. Nothing about you sounds like the guy who's just bitching and moaning or anything. It's just, things like this as fans, I guess you get it because you've have been a fan too. So everybody's just kind of curious, like, what's going on? Like, why did he decide? So just trying to get inside your thinking there a little bit.
I mean, I'm still a fan, so I definitely understand how it feels to have someone, because if you think about it, NWA is this little tight-knit thing that people have seen from the ground up and seen it explode. So of course you're going to be invested in I don't even call them characters, because there isn't anything about me that's a character. You get invested in these people, and it sucks to kind of have that disrupted, especially during this time period where you really want some type of normalcy. And I get that now. Like, after reading the comments, I totally understand it. But if anything, and I'm not saying you haven't or any of the NWA fans, if anything, it's just a matter of support. When I left, Nick was the only person to hit me up and text me. There are some other people, but I mean, I'm not going to disclose that. But yeah, Nick hit me up and told me, he goes, even though you're gone, it doesn't mean we still can't chat. And I really appreciate that. So, stuff like that.
That's cool. I think that, well, it's kind of good and bad, I guess, because, I mean, we look at things like we've been using the term on our social media and stuff, the hashtag NWA fam. We look at it that way too, like this close-knit group of people. And so I'm sure there's people you're bummed out not to talk to or not to be working with as much anymore, maybe like Nick or whatever. It's cool to hear that he still was reaching out to you. I guess let me ask you a couple of things before I let you go. Like, do you have like a favorite memory or a favorite couple of memories from your time in the NWA so far?
Yeah, I do actually. It's Royce Isaacs having a complete meltdown over 2 missing Reign energy drinks. Or do you mean at the show?
No, I mean whatever you want it to mean. No, that already intrigues me. Like, what is the story there?
Oh, well, he had someone borrowed Reign. Zicky Dice borrowed Reign energy drinks for him, and then he woke up in the morning and they weren't replaced because Zicky wasn't awake yet. And they had a little back and forth, and it was so cute and funny, and they're still good friends now.
No, those kind of stories are fun and interesting. What else? Like, I mean, as far as like, I guess the show too, or was it mostly the backstage stuff that you valued the most? Like, as far as your time there?
Oh, let me think. What's a good memory? I think a good memory for me was probably, but I think it was, it had to be the second episode where I finally got to talk.
Yeah, just being able to cut the first promo.
Yeah, for sure. Like, that was fun to me. I really loved having that experience, at least, because that really set everything off.
Yeah. How did the crowd affect you like that first time? Like, I mean, getting up there to talk. I mean, I assume wrestling is one thing, but then actually cutting that promo and the crowd being as close and everything.
It was weird at first to go out and not have a reaction, but I think I've been in those positions where no one knows who I am and they can't get a real read on me until I do something or I say something, and then they go, okay, I get it. So, I didn't take it to heart when I didn't get a reaction, because I knew afterwards that I'd be okay. And sure enough, things went as they did. I think that's how I've just gotten by in my life and in my career. It's like, I can't just wait for people to see something in me. It's more of a matter of just, one, I believe in myself, because that's the only person I've had is myself. But two, you can't just sell something to someone if they really aren't trying to buy at the moment. I go to stores and there's constantly people trying to get me to smell cologne. And I'm not looking to buy cologne, so I'm not going to be interested.
Right.
But if that lady goes and sells something else that I am interested in, like, oh, we have new shoes or suits, or okay, now you've piqued my interest. Now maybe since you sold me on that, I'll buy your cologne because I'm invested in you now, not necessarily the product. You get what I'm saying?
No, totally get it. I mean, what do you think, looking back, just to switch that last question up some, what will you miss the most as far as your time with the NWA?
I definitely will miss the people that I worked with, for sure. The locker room is a very great, funny, so helpful type of locker room. I definitely will miss that, miss sharing Airbnbs with them too.
So we've covered, I mean, a lot of people are bummed, but this is the nature of the business. I don't think anybody, if Ricky Starks didn't keep you on your toes guessing what was coming next, then he wouldn't be Ricky Starks. So I guess the last thing I would ask for, Ricky, is do you have anything for all of the fans out there, like that have loved watching you on NWA, that are still NWA fans, and obviously they'll still be Ricky Starks fans? Do you have anything you want to say to those kind of fans that are just sad to see you go like that?
Yeah, honestly, I want to thank everyone first and foremost, because the support has been crazy. I can't thank everyone enough for that. But I also want to let people know that, even though I may not be there, that doesn't mean that you can't catch me other places, right? I'm still going to be myself and very genuine. It's just on a bigger stage to help out everyone else now. So it's not a matter of me. I'm not leaving, really, NWA. It's just you have to share me with millions of other people sooner or later.
Yeah, and who knows what the future holds, right? Anything's
right.
possible.
I mean, just stay watching your cable TV or however y'all stream different shows from wrestling now. Just stay watching that. And then I think everything, like, it don't make sense. Nothing makes sense right now, but in due time it will, for sure.
Good. Well, Ricky, I appreciate you doing this. And for anybody who wants to follow Ricky on this journey, which is going to be fun, I can see it already. On Instagram, he's Starky Baby, and on Twitter, he's Starkman Jones. And don't forget about RickyStarks.BigCartel.com. That's right. Didn't I get that right?
There you go.
Yeah, look at this.
You got it right. Nice.
So from the first time we talked, Ricky, till now, I'm hopefully getting even better at this. So
for sure you are.
you helped me along, man, and I am always going to be grateful for that. And I do want to say on the RickyStarks.BigCartel.com, there's a lot of great products, but one of those is that 1-800-STARKS line shirt, which the guy modeling that shirt, he looks familiar.
The 1-800, you talking about the baby blue one?
No, I'm talking about Sammy Guevara is on. I think I saw him on the site, or did I? Was he on the site? I saw him somewhere, and he was modeling that shirt.
Yeah, that was on Twitter. I was like, I don't think I have a model on my page.
You're right. Sorry, my bad. See, I built myself up just to throw it all away right there at the end. but
no, so he has the shirt. That's the hotline operator shirt. That's new. I brought that back. I know people love black shirts. Me personally, I don't care for black merchandise because I have enough black shirts as is. But yeah, he definitely wears that. That's not something I gave him. He actually bought that, and he sent me the picture of him in it, and I decided to post it. I've known Sammy for a very long time. A lot of people think friendships are just built when someone on either side, gets a big opportunity. But I've known Sammy since 2012. So I've literally seen him come up in the business. But yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, he is. He seems like a good dude, but that photo is not a hint at anything, huh?
No, a lot of people think so, but who knows? I mean, the thing is this: everyone talks about me being friends with Sammy in AEW. I'm also friends with a bunch of people at WWE as well. So it's like, that doesn't work in that sense. And if anything, how would Sammy be able to get anyone hired?
Well, I mean, I don't know. He's part of the inner circle. They're like one of the hottest heel factions.
That's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? You never know.
And I've seen all kinds of rumors going around. Like Ricky Starks is obviously trying to climb the ladder of success, and there's ladders going to be involved in things upcoming, and
yeah. So, well, everything I do is a gamble. So I have to put all my chips in and see what I can win. And sometimes it doesn't work out, and sometimes it does. But it's all a matter about trying at least.
Man, I ain't going to poke anymore at that. That's fun. There was one other thing I was going to ask you, but it just slipped my mind. Oh, well. I remember what I was going to say is, like, I think part of the reason is not that people don't think you could go to WWE. It's that people can't picture WWE being able to know anything with what to do with Ricky Starks. I think that's
right.
It. Like, they're just
I've heard of that too. WWE wouldn't do right by me, and ultimately that is a place I will go, because I have dreams and goals that I want to accomplish there, just for the fact of I've always had them. And so, that's something that I'm going to have to cross and deal with when I get there. But along the way, that doesn't mean I can't build up my armor and be prepared to deal with certain battles there. So, trust me, it's not lost on me. I get it. Some of the sentiments the fans share, I have the same sentiments too, but it's a little bit different when you're in it and you have to think about a whole bunch of other stuff about life. This isn't just an easy, I work at freaking Google now and I'm going to go work at Amazon. It's not that simple. So
I gotcha. Brother, we are going to be watching and waiting and excited to see you pop up wherever you pop up. And then hopefully, I'm just going to say it for everybody, we also will still hope that someday you pop back up in the NWA at some point, maybe to get that win back on Zicky Dice or something. But
well, I mean, honestly, Zicky is a great champion. He won cleanly. He won fair and square. So it seems that, he just was the better man that day. So who knows? Maybe like Caleb Connolly or Matt Cross can finally compete for the TV title and see where that takes him.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it, man. All right, Ricky. Well, we won't hold you up anymore. Everybody in the NWA thanks you and loves you, and we appreciate you giving us this time to at least get to hear from you.
Of course, man. I'll always help y'all out if I can. So I appreciate everyone having kind words and having my back when people say otherwise, and I can't thank you enough for that.